Hello and welcome to Beyond the Bio. This week I am joined by Ben Franklin, who is a business coach, psychic strategist, speaker and event producer, and the founder of Bold Intuition Co. He works with leaders who want to scale not just their businesses, but their identity alongside it, blending strategic thinking with intuitive decision making. Through Ben's coaching, community, and live experiences like Audacious Live, Ben helps entrepreneurs stop second-guessing themselves and start building from a place of alignment. Today, we're getting into how Ben's used events not just as a business tool, but as a way to amplify his brand and authority. Ben, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. And I'm so intrigued by the whole events thing and how that fits into amplifying your brand. And events is something that I've got experience of in a previous business, but less so in my current business. But we do have our first big event coming up in June. So hopefully I can pick your brains and get loads of advice from how it's been working for you. But, you know, you've built a brand that blends strategy and intuition, which sounds very intriguing. So you need to tell us about that. So tell us a bit more about what you do and where events fit into this bigger picture of what you do.
Basically, I'm a psychic, but because of my corporate background, which was from British Airways, then I moved into property sales and I've done all sorts of other things in between. I realised I wasn't utilising my intuitive psychic ability enough. So I basically joined them together. And that's how I work with people, because I've got that strategy. I've done all the accreditations, but actually my psychic work is so good. It really makes people work. It makes people elevate to what they should be doing, because I can see what's going to happen before it happens. Or if they're going off path, I'm like, why are you doing that? It's not going to work. And I'm right, you know.
Ben, we need to unpick this. How the heck you realise that you have psychic abilities? Where did this come from?
So it's something I've always been. It's always been with me from a young child, but it wasn't until probably about 2014 I was very ill and nearly died, but it was like a big change. I started hearing voices and all sorts of magic, and I was like, and that's when I was like, right, I need to follow this. And that's my life just took a completely different direction because of that.
Do you find that people are always asking you to tell them their future?
No, most people are scared. They think I'm reading them off.
Really?
I think it's hilarious, but I'm like, well, no, I'm not going to do that because you don't want me to. So why would I? But yeah, people are intrigued, and you know, I get asked this: can you predict the lottery numbers? No, I can't. You know, that's not how it's meant to be. I can see things, I feel things, and I sense things before they're even played out. So it's just
wow. Do you get like a vibe when you're talking to people?
Oh yeah.
What vibe are you getting from me right now?
Well, bear in mind, I met you in person tonight a few months back, and I was like, I always go because there's energy lines in the body. So energetically, I was drawn to you because I could see you very heart-centered. You may not think it, but actually that's what drives you forward. And it's all about relationships. And for you, I was like, yeah, like that energy, because you're not just about yourself.
Interesting. Yeah. I love it. This is so cool. This is lovely. So thinking back to events, what point did you decide to step into hosting your own events rather than just speaking at other people's, which often feels like the easier option?
I will be completely honest with you. I'd been to all these different events, small and big, and I was like, I just wasn't enjoying it because a lot of them are really beige, really corporate, and just not fun. And I thought to myself, must be another way of doing this. And it was basically, I happened to be in Colchester. That's where the event was in January. And I saw this venue. I was like, this could work. So I walked in and I was like, this is amazing. So basically, it's a drag cabaret club that has everything you need for an event like this. And that was it. And I just thought, I'm doing it.
Yeah,
I didn't know how it was going to.
It was the intuition telling you.
But I didn't know how it was going to play out. But I was like, I need to do this. Spoke with the the manager of the venue and the owner, and they were like, yeah, we need this. We need the support because, these sort of venues are struggling with the costs of living and everything else. So it was a two-way thing. I was helping them. They were helping me. Amazing. And just the event just was amazing. I didn't advertise it. It was all just word of mouth and organic posting. And I sold about 90 tickets, which for not advertising any paid ads, I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
So,
And that was your first time that you've run that event?
yeah.
Oh wow, that's amazing, because it wasn't even that long ago. I really like what you just said there. You just prompted a bit of a light bulb moment in me there around coming up with a venue that actually isn't a typical venue for stuff. And we're running our first event in a local hotel that is known for running events and has been a client of ours as well. So that was kind of our rationale behind that. But actually, I've thought of another venue. Obviously, we're not going to change for this year, and this is our first time, but it has made me think, there's another venue that would tick so many other boxes, and just I hadn't even thought about it, but would be really helpful for them as well. So I'm going to think that over for next year. That's so interesting. So you did your event. What do you think that events allow you to do for your brand that you can't do online? Because in person's different to online, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I love in person. For me, I love that interaction and actually being able to have conversations. What it did was allow people to understand who I am. And over that period of promoting the event and then doing it, people were like just wanting to be in my space, and they understood what I'd built, because a lot of people said they felt safe there. They felt like they're being hugged. And it was like, that to me was important. I was like, right, okay, they feel safe. They feel like they're walking in a room with a hug. And people got emotional about it. And they were thanking me for doing that, because they said, been to other events, just didn't feel I was part of that. So I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but it just, for me personally, they know I can make them feel welcome.
And have you noticed a shift since in how people see you since you ran that event?
Yeah, what is interesting is more for people that didn't come, and I've met since. They're like, I heard so much about Audacious live. Hey, it's your event. I was like, yeah. And it was just that I've got the reputation because I did it, and the feedback was really good. Generally, not necessarily always to me, but to other people, and it just helped people then to trust, know, like, and trust. I guess they're like, oh,
Yeah.
So it's elevated me just from doing that.
And what kinds of conversations have you been having since? Has it generated sales or leads, or what's it done for you?
Sales, yes. I've got new clients for my program. I'm also talking to a lot more people, so I've grown my network. And what it has done is allowed me into new networks. So, and I was always told, step outside your bubble, because you get into one where you feel safe, you go to certain things. But now I feel brave enough to go to completely different events and expand my network that way, and it's really working.
So have you decided to run it again or run more of them?
It's coming back in February 27. I'm literally about a month off doing the launch. I'm also now, as I did sort of discreetly tell you, looking at potentially doing a mini Audacious live up north.
I love that, because we often in the north have to travel to London, and yeah, that's great. And I love being in London, but I love it even more when there's events here as well, and that we can bring stuff from the south to the north. So that is super exciting, and there'll be a real appetite for that for sure. When you said that you haven't done the launch yet, because obviously the event's next year now, have you already sold tickets? Like, did you sell to that audience that came to the first one at that point?
I didn't, but I will do next time, because I just didn't know if I was going to do it again until the day, if I'm honest with you. So what we had was a QR code for the wait list. So they got priority. And yes, I have pre-sold tickets. I've got speakers lined up. I've also got sponsorship nearly secured. So it's a lot more organised than the first time. For the next one, I will sell the tickets from the stage, because I can.
Yeah, because that's something we're thinking about for our own events. So would your advice be, from kind of what you've experienced and what you've seen other people do, be to offer sort of super early bird tickets, if you like, on the day itself? So you've got the people that are in the room and potentially the people that are just watching from afar that have got FOMO, and you're getting them to buy in quite a tight time period?
Just from learning from other people, really, since my event, I'm like, right, what I will do going forward is for people in the room only, they get a 48-hour window, a special early price just exclusively to them. And then you open up early bird, which is higher price.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. You want to make them feel special, don't you?
The loyalty part comes in with them. Makes sense, doesn't it, to do it that way? But then you just launch it for everyone else.
A lot of people that run events don't really maximize them. What advice would you give around extending the impact beyond the day of the event itself?
Just from personal learning, it would be to ensure more opportunity for people to connect with me. So throughout the event, I needed to ensure there's more way people know how they can work with me, how they can talk to me, what it is they need to get to. Post-event, I didn't do enough emails. I didn't do enough. I know I didn't. So that would be my top tip, is have that structured ready pre-event. So you have to think about it. But again, I'm not an event organizer until now. So
yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? You kind of have this idea and you run with it and you're then figuring some of this out along the way. But it feels like you've got some really early learns straight away that you can be applying to next time. How have you gone about securing sponsors and speakers? What's been your strategy for that?
So sponsors, I wasn't proactive enough last time, and I will hold my hands up with that. But this time I've gone out early, and there's other conversations happening, so I know that's not going to be an issue this time. Speakers, I'm actually keen going forward is to have fresh faces. So I do want to encourage people to be brave and say, I want to speak because I can help with that. So there are faces that will be on the stage next time that aren't necessarily on the circuit.
Okay.
It's just giving them a bit of an opportunity to step out there to a safe space that actually is a bit crazy and fun, but also it's going to give them that elevation to be seen.
And are you approaching the speakers or are you inviting them to apply?
So they can apply, but I'm also, when I've been to different events and networking things, and I'm just saying, have you thought about speaking, and just putting that opportunity there, because I believe in supporting people that way.
Mm. And how are you curating the content of the day and making sure that the speakers are all, covering different things? Like, what's your approach to that?
So there has to be a link for the whole event, which is obviously, because I'm very spiritual and psychic and all of that. What I do want the speakers to be is trusting their gut and their intuition and all of that. And that has to be in their talk. So what did they follow to make something work? But each speaker will bring some educational stuff for the audience, because I want them to learn, but it has to interlink with why they're doing it, their purpose. And that's it. I don't expect them to be completely woo or spiritual, but actually if they're following their dream, their ambition, and it's because they felt the need to do it, that's enough for me. Yeah, so there won't be any real clashes with the speakers because they've all got something different to bring. But the big thing is there will be a lot of performance.
Oh, yeah. And I was going to come on to that, because you said earlier that you were kind of sick of the corporate beige type events. So what is it that you are chucking into the mix that is making it the opposite of that?
So there will be someone from Drag Race UK.
Cool.
There will be some singing, including myself, because that's something that I've taken up this year.
Are you a good singer, Ben?
I'm getting there. And it's really interesting because I've just done a concert actually, and it was really interesting to see how my voice has just progressed. But that's one of my goals, is to sing. There's a certain song I want to sing on my stage. So that's happening.
Ooh, that's exciting. What do you have kind of going on in between speakers? Like, do you have sort of networking bits and lunch and stuff? Like, what does that look like at your event?
So there's plenty of time for breaks. We did the VIP dinner the night before, which worked so well because we had 50 people for that. And a lot of people didn't know anyone, didn't know what to expect, but it gave them a chance to network in a way where it didn't feel pressured or fake. So the next day for the main event, they were new friends, and it was really cool. But there's breaks, it's all like fed and watered, but there's plenty of time for them to talk, have conversations, and spaces that they can leave the main room if they want to and have a conversation. So we encourage that. We want people to actually do business in that room. That's the idea of it.
What did your VIP dinner look like? So that was the night before.
Yeah.
Where did you do it? How many people were there? Who was there?
So I had all the speakers there, bar one, I think, just because of logistics. But it was great. So the speakers were there, and then VIP ticket holders. It was in the venue next door, which was brilliant because then they knew where they had to be the next day. And there was entertainment there. There was a drag queen there as well, which wasn't advertised. That was just an extra. We did a tapas, so it was really cool. So it was nice. There was all sort of sharing food and drink involved, and it was just a good chance for people to network and a good couple of hours just to really set the tone for the next day. And it worked so well.
You had how many? 15?
50.
50. Wow.
Yeah.
And do you feel like that was the right amount? Did you cap it?
That was more than I thought would come.
So some surprise VIPs.
But I didn't mind. It worked really well, and I'm going to do that again. So,
and you don't think 50's too many? You felt like that was manageable?
It was fine. I really liked that, to be fair. It was just such a good energy.
And how do you then work that into your ticket pricing? What was the difference between talk me through. I'm presuming you had early bird, full price, and VIP options.
So obviously the speakers are VIP, so they come out of that. But I had a standard, which was for the main event, and a VIP grade, and I did an early bird offer.
So that worked well.
Yeah.
And what's the financial difference between a standard and a VIP?
At the moment, it's not a lot. It's 50 quid difference. But for that, you're getting the night before.
So 50 quid and you're getting the dinner and drinks. It doesn't feel hugely commercial in terms of you making any kind of markup on that. But it certainly would it would certainly cover the cost of it, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It just worked so well, and that's why I liked it.
Ben, if someone is thinking about running their first event to build their brand, so that's part of their strategy to build their personal brand, what's the one thing that you would say they need to get right?
What is the end goal? What do they want to get from it? What's the reason you want to do it? Is it to gain clients? Is it to build your network? Or is it about the event? Because you need to have that clarity as to the end purpose of it. Is it to build like your pipeline for the rest of the year? Fair enough, like great. But if you just do an event for the sake of it, is that actually worth it?
What is the objective, I guess? So following on from that, do you think that every founder should be thinking about events as part of their personal brand strategy? Or do you think that it only sits right with certain types of founders?
I personally believe we're all capable of it. But actually, some people are more introverted. I'm quite an introvert, believe it or not, but actually it worked for me. But not everyone needs that. You know, you can do online summits if you want to do it a different way. There's just different ways of doing it. If you don't want to put on a big event, you don't have to, but you just make the most of attending other people's events in that case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't think it is for everyone.
Okay, that's good. Very honest as well. Ben, it's been great chatting to you about how events have helped you in your business and your brand. If anyone watching or listening hasn't met you before, where is the best place for them to connect with you?
I've got a website, which is benfranklin.co.uk, or Instagram, benfranklin_official.
Amazing. And we'll pop links to both of those in the show notes to make it super easy for people to connect. Awesome. Thanks so much, Ben.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening. If you're serious about growing your profile, take our free profile assessment quiz to see where you're at right now and get hints and tips on how to improve your score. You'll find the link to the quiz in the show notes. If you've enjoyed the episode, it would be mint if you'd subscribe, like, and leave a review. See you next Monday.